I'm Alexander Williamson, and of course, this is Sumi. She is waking up. No, don't climb on my shoulder right now. You can hang out here with us, but you can't climb on my shoulder right now. You can get the sleep out of your eyes. You guys got the sleep out of your eyes. Make sure you get that goop out, yeah? So, I found out that this to chew the heads off of every single palm frond. Like normally, also ironic that we call them cattails, but just like cattails, apparently, with these like little parasol looking things. And yeah, the little things are you're able to cut each one of those sprouts or branches, I guess, if you'd want to call it that. And you're able to put that in a beaker, literally upside down. You can put it in a beaker and you can cut off all the, it's flayed like this. Here, I can show you actually. So you can get a test tube and you can actually simply cut off all of this. Whoa, that shocked me. That was weird. You can cut off all around so that it's about yay big around. There's no sticking out, and then flip it upside down 180 degrees, and you can put it in your aquarium or a test tube or a cup or whatever, which is, that's pretty cool. So, yeah. How are we doing, my friends? Andrew Fishman, thank you so much for renewing that membership. I appreciate it greatly. It makes a huge difference both in my income and the ability to keep doing this channel, which actually has been a little bit come into question a bit, unfortunately, as of late, just due to how everything's been. But beyond that, it's also just so appreciated so that we can have a community of folks that are like yourself and so kind and informed or there to inform others as well as seek knowledge, which is always great. So here is a little Koopa Nearite, King Koopa, named after the little Mario guys. This tank took such a beating during the power outage and subsequent crash. I mean, the snails, they're fine. The ammonia, the nitrites, they never faltered, not once. Um, and the mulm now, I'm gonna get some of that out of here as well as some of this moss that's just crowding out shallow growth. Also, I'm hoping that I can flower some bacopa either here or in the other room again too, along with that piece, and that we can hybridize some. And also, I'm gonna try splitting the hybridized Fraseri and Cophifolia. Some of the newest one that grew from seed, separate from the other one. Look at how big the flares are on that leaf compared to this original cutting with the little tiny flares on those leaves. Yeah, kind of interesting. And then compared to its daddy that has none. Or mommy, whatever. All right, guys. So how are we doing? Prodigal Aquarius, good to see you. Let's see here. Mike Myers, good to see you. Before we get going on isopods, is mashed potato and yeast really the best way to culture microworms? I've heard so. Some people say saltines and like water or ramen noodles smashed up, but it's usually some variation on starch. Some people even just put a slice of like processed bread, like sliced bread loaf. Although I would assume you probably don't want too high a salt or preservative content, to which I would kind of be skeptical of saltines. But supposedly it works. Oatmeal is another one. Oatmeal and granola, those all work. Anything that's got starch, that's carby. Aquatic Moose, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Aqua Escapes, hello. So I have some announcements for you guys today, by the way. I'll get to those in a moment. House of Pisces, Coro, good to see you, Coro. I'm all pixelated. Let's try, let's try this. See if it's better or worse. Let me know. Um, Better or worse signal? Yay or nay? Let me know. Uh, the Louise Live Brewers Bearers. What's up? Good to see you, Robert Bennett, Cave of Wonders, Oscar Llewellyn, Mikey Fish Tanks. Um, Alex, don't be alarmed when you see me liking and commenting on a gabillion videos that drive the algorithm this month. Thank you very much. Likes, subscribes, sharing, commenting, all that is so helpful when you guys watch a video. And actually, um, if you're there, like just watching it all the way through too, that is super helpful. Now they even have things where they know like is a gyroscope in your pocket if you're walking, or some apps, I'm not sure about YouTube or any of that necessarily, but some make sure that there's a something it recognizes as a face watching and that the eyes are open. Oh, that hurts. It makes my eyes water when I've got a day like today where I get so tired. The wide eyes. It's like too much light. Aziz light. Killer Ace. What's up? All right. What am I gonna announce? What am I gonna announce? Oh, it looks better now. Oh, well, that's good. Looks good now. Danikin Aquatics. Good to see you, Danny. So good to see you, buddy. Um, More playlists. Keep them on while you sleep. Well, thank you so much, Aqua Escapes. I appreciate that. That really does help the channel. And, go to my secret podcast section. It's only $1.99 to join. And there are over 200 extra episodes in there. Plus, there's a playlist of all the fishery episodes, and it says podcast friendly, audio friendly, and then there's also a podcast feature on YouTube, but I don't know the hey honey, the what do you call that, the how viable or working that is, if it is even up or working still. YouTube's always playing around with little features and things and telling everyone, oh, you gotta do this, oh, you can't do that, oh, you all have to do this again, oh, never do this, always do that. It's enough to make your head spin if you keep up with it. So Sarah the Great, hello, and Sawan, hello, and Joey Reagan, hello. Um, Not enough like the ones you make. Well, thank you. Yeah, so one announcement I have for y'all is I do want to do some giveaways. In years past, we've given away thousands of dollars, but this year, it's probably not going to be that good. Unfortunately, just times are tight. People that normally, like shops that would normally want to do gift cards and stuff, I'm basically like the best I'm hearing in a lot of cases is they'll sell me a gift card at half price, but then I'm gonna buy it, which I can do, but I can only do a little bit of that compared to when somebody just donates, a kit of something, or even better yet, they breed this fish or that fish, and they've got a whole bunch to donate. But we'll still try to have a happy holidays, a little merry Christmas of sorts with the kitty here. My new little pal, my new little buddy. The other thing that I was going to tell you is the merch. I'm still in the process of updating it, but it has been updated with several new designs, a couple little bumper stickers, and hats and mugs and stuff that actually says fishery now rather than secret history living in your aquarium. And it's also all supposedly assembled and printed in the US on the Teespring stuff, the selections I made. So it's a little more than like the $9 section they have, but it should be like I pay. I think it's about 14.45 for like the t-shirts, and then I think I have them listed at 20. And the profit in between that goes to the nonprofits that we have that we like to support here on the channel, whether that is Son of Running River or Shoal or any of those great freshwater aquarium and biology things. But yeah, be careful asking for followers to make comments. YouTube, Facebook frown on begging to make algorithm go up or down. Charles, uh, I don't know that they necessarily if I just say that I appreciate everybody commenting and liking, subscribing. I mean, they've been okay with that. YouTube has been crazy with that. I know they don't want you to say like I'll follow you if you follow like all that the tip for tat or whatever you want to call it, and they don't like any sort of bribery, which makes sense. Uh, Alex, how do you feel about terrariums or paludariums? Would you consider doing a 50-50 water and land ecosystem in the fish room? Charles, every big channel says, yeah, every big channel says like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, probably, yeah, it's annoying, but I forget, honestly, and sometimes when someone says like, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, I do like this, and even if it's like, well, it's not that I like it more than other things. If you want to see more of this ever, click like. If you don't, well, then don't, or click dislike. But for me, for my sake, if you click dislike, it counts as engagement just the same as like. So they will assume if you click dislike that you want more of this because you're fired up and you want to like engage by like rage baiting you. So if you really don't like me, don't click anything. That's the secret. So the other thing I was gonna say, so we've got the holiday giveaway. I haven't figured out a day in particular for that. The other thing is I have been having a hard time again. I'm on antibiotics again, and I'm probably going to end up on antibiotics in the hospital, at least for like, I have to go in for the afternoon for an infusion type thing. And I don't know, maybe that'll be like 3 days. Hopefully, it'll be short and not staying overnight. I don't know. If you guys have been following the saga of my foot injury, unfortunately, the puncture wound where the glass actually cut my foot after all this time. They had a giant wound, I mean, giant, 22 inches long on my leg, and cut open to the bone, open for 8 days, and yet the thing that's still infected and agitated and sore is a cut that's not even this wide, that was a crescent shape, cut straight down into the heel through my callus and up into the soft part of my foot, unfortunately. Um, let's see here. The other thing is, I was thinking, oh yeah, Aquatic Mook says double tap on the screen to make a smile appear on Alex's face. Yes, that's true. Nobody's doing it. Oh, there we go. We got a couple likes. Anyways, um, Alex sending positive energy. Thanks. I appreciate that. Kitty, why are you up here? Do you want love? Do you not want love? Do you want to be held? Do you not want to be held? She is a funny cat in that she also, if I'm leaning on the counter, like if I lean forward like this, watch what she'll do. We'll just throw her up here and she's starting to purr, which is funny. But a lot of times, Silky, Silky. A lot of times she'll come up this way and she'll just sit on my head and she'll just decide like, oh, this is where I belong, is up on the shoulder. But she doesn't do it in a way that's like smart. She doesn't hold on and just like ride my shoulder. No, no, no. She aquatic moose. She she's purring and she's just kind of casually sitting there. And if I stand up, she is going to either jump off, which would be a very good thing of her, like that. Oh, she's such a good kitty. Whereas other times, she literally just gets higher on my head to try to balance. And she'll balance up on top of my head. And then I'm like walking around like this velociraptor with the cat on my head and on my shoulder. She's a very interesting cat that way. We got a Charlie tuna down in the yeah, it's a cat hat. It's a cat in the hat. It's my head is the cat hat. So another thing that we have going on is the our friends up at Moonlight Aquatics. So obviously, if you watch the channel, you know that's my friend Chang. He's a young guy. He's like 26, just got engaged, which I'm excited about for him. He went, I think, to Japan for like get engaged. I think it was like in front of the uh, Mount Fuji and the snow starting on it, and it was like late or whatever. But anyways, if you want to get anything from him, moonlightaquatics.com, I would highly recommend it. He's doing some stuff right now before the holidays. He's really trying to kind of make his year financially speaking, and Black Friday was great and all, but he's never settled. He's a real go-getter. He sleeps in the actual shop frequently, works 100-hour weeks. I mean, this is why I like the kid. He's working too hard. I think he needs to like actually relax, but he's working and he's knowledgeable. He's making the connections. He has some crazy connections that, people that I know who have been in the business for 40 years or whatever, they don't have those connections. Like, for instance, black, natural wild black paradise fish that they look very cool. There's one in the thumbnail picture today. And Asia says, I haven't bought from Moonlight yet. I will go take a look. Yeah, just go there. Now, in the description of my channel videos, there is a link for Moonlight Aquatics, and there's an actual link you can click that will take you there, just like Dan's Fish. But you can just use all capitals Fishery 10 and that will get you 10% off. Now 10% off on top of Chang's prices is insane because he's really wild. I mean, like, he had some pea puffers the other day that were going for $4.99 again. Meanwhile, Aquarium Co-op had them for $19.99. I've never seen pea puffers at $19.99. I was shocked to see that. I didn't know that they could get that expensive. Yeah. Yeah, work hard while you're young and then relax. Or hear me out, work hard all the time and then die. Hmm? Uh, free thinker, thank you. Oh, you like the Seattle drainage video? Okay. Yeah. Thoughts on a Pisto McMastery in a Fluval Flex 15 gallon? That's a good question. Uh, because I actually have pretty much exactly that. Um, the fish room's really humid right now, and it's definitely in a state of disarray more than ever, because we're moving things around. Also, I made the video you guys saw about about let's see here, the scuds and the water louses, the potato bugs, the pill bugs, whatever you want to call them, aquatic isopods. And they are very popular. I have had so many people asking to buy them. And you guys, I know I've sold plants a few times and shrimp on a like to raise money for medical bills, which I may do again when I do have enough Malawa shrimp. But I always try to do it at a really low price that is like a good deal and a happy thing for you guys, rather than even a like a store price if I can help it. But shipping's just brutal, right? Overnight shipping and so forth. And I'm thinking these isopods may survive shipping ground anywhere as long as the hub that it lands in doesn't freeze and they leave it out back on some, loading dock in -30 Fargo, North Dakota weather. They may survive. And I've been thinking maybe we'll try that out. And I could ship some things like aquatic isopods and scuds. But I want to show you guys right now the scuds are like out of control. There are a lot of them for just these 2.5 gallon tanks. And ironically, yes, I do baby the tanks a bit. In that this tank, it has shrimp, and hey, look, we got a pregnant female shrimp. And then, so it's got, shrimp, and it's got isopods. It's also got paramecium, hydra. I mean, it's got pests, and it's got good food, and it's got shrimp. But here, we just have a crazy amount of these things, and we will collect them. And then we'll take them over here. And we will, dun, dun, dun. I need to set up a new light for this, but we're going to feed them in here. Where'd they all go? I don't really see many. Oh, there's one. Nope, he got eaten. They all get eaten on the way over here? So, I've been slowly taking the dust and the mulm out of this tank, and it is not a fun process. I could probably be using a hose that would be more effective, but I've literally just been doing this one squeeze at a time so that I can get in all the little nooks and crannies, and so I'm not disturbing the micro ecosystem, because we're at 3 years now and I don't want to tear down this tank's substrate. The tank's substrate is still really good, but if I start gravel backing this substrate, it will mix it all sorts of ways up, a good ½ inch deep, if not more. That would be if I was being careful. And I'm trying to avoid that. But I am thinking of keeping this current fish load that's in here when I move this out into the other room, which I didn't expect, and then adding maybe gold ring danios, which I have over in another tank, but then having the pink and either hair grass or, boy, wouldn't it be cool to have a pink carpet, like the actual carpet growing in the tank, all pink panther or pink flamingo crypts. I think that would be pretty epic if I could pull that off. Now, I don't know how long that would take and or if it would, yeah, I just don't know if it'll work really well or if they'll get crowded out. As they get bigger, they tend not to be quite as pink and lovely, but sometimes, you know, you look out. If you have CO2 and you have good light, that always helps. But yeah, so here I'm just literally just getting all the little bits out, all the dust and dirt and layer of mulm and stuff that, quite frankly, if I had the aquatic isopods in this tank and the fish didn't just eat them immediately, they would start cleaning this up. So the wood louse that I have in this tank, they've already begun cleaning this tank really severely. So you can see this tank was exactly the same as the tank I'm going to show you. And yes, there is algae on the wall. But in it, you can see that there's a lot of the floating water lettuce and its roots. And it's like just chunks of a debris field that are hard to navigate. Here, they've already, in a few weeks, they've already eaten most of the roots off of these things that are dead anyways. Like, they're already into mucky of water and whatnot. So they're kind of all breaking down and they've become detritus. And these guys are detritivores. So yet, the scuds still seem to have a place perfectly suited for them, and they are all over the aquarium now, which is cool. There's one right there right now. I think there's another one right there on the mulm. But in any case, we're just going to see what happens, and we're going to see if the scuds and those can live happily ever after. Maybe even try to introduce some shrimp sooner or later. And the fact that they're inside is new to me a bit, because I've always just kind of kept them in tubs, because I've been able to keep them literally in tubs on my back porch when I lived in a tiny apartment in downtown Seattle, essentially. So yeah. And then here, we're just putting more scuds in this tank. And then, as we always do, just because I like to do this process while I'm live streaming with you guys, because sometimes you see some interesting behavior going on between all the creatures. And I'm hoping Chang over at Moonlight, he got some really cool new fish. He got golden panda loaches. So if you like panda loaches already, he's got a variety that they're calling the golden variety. They're a new wild fish. And they are, they don't have a Latin name yet or anything. They're brand new. But they have kind of stripes going the other way, almost like a zebra. And I kind of want to move things around to make sure we can get a tank of those. But the thing is, I need mature biofilm and rocks and debris for them to be able to eat their algae and diatom algae and all that kind of stuff. And so what's cool is this tank is almost perfect in that I can move the rocks or the little huts. I can move them in and out of this tank into a different tank, into a tank next to it. And then not only will it have a start of the good bacteria, which is always a nice thing to have on hand. But it will also have the biofilm and all the goodies that they want to be eating, the algae on it, if I move the rocks out of there. So that's all fun and games, I guess. Games? It's fun. Is it games? It's games. Okay. I'm gonna look at the chat again in a moment after we get a few more of these scoods. Okay, dudes, your scoods, they're coming. The food's coming. Scoods for the dudes. I don't know where my... Okay, so I bought some split-tailed loaches, and they disappeared so quick when I bought them. I did not know they had the ability to burrow underneath the... oh, wait, is that my... Oh, no. I didn't know they had the ability to burrow underneath the sand, like, immediately. Like, in tremors, like, they're that... they're that level of cryptically hidden. And so then they move underneath the sand, and you can't even see. They don't even make like a little molehill bump, but they're also excavating and doing work. So I know they're doing something. They've made themselves a little cave in here, and we can see if we can get one of them out just by filling in the mouth of the cave. Sometimes then they'll work to clear it out, and they'll come out and make an appearance. But seriously, I hardly ever see them, even though I kind of know exactly where they are. And fork-tailed loaches are a super fun little species to play with and to watch. You know, if you're like me, I think behavior is so fascinating in fish. And I think that there's some fish that are just definitely worlds ahead when it comes to being a fascinating and cool social creature that does stuff that's like next level, like almost like group intelligent type things. So we're gonna catch a whole bunch of these scuds. And a few of the water isopods are also in the mix. And then we're gonna feed them over here one more time because these guys didn't get a good enough meal. And if I miss, and these scuds just continue to exist in here, not only will they be leftovers, but they will also be good for cleaning up all that mulm that I was just telling you guys was annoying the heck out of me. This stuff, when you look at it up close, like when you're like, oh, my tank's not so bad, and then you look at it even closer and you're like, oh man, it's so dirty. I have so much work to do to get it clean. That's always obviously frustrating, that battle. We all know the battle cry of the aquarist. Of Cthulhu. So I also bought some new pieces of wood at Aquarium Co-op that I'll show you guys in a sec. And I'm going to be reviewing Aquarium Co-op's newest product that's out because it's something that I watched them use in the store the last few months while I've been visiting, you know, various, well, obviously I visit it because it's a fish store that's 5 miles from my house, so that's handy. But I also visit it because, you know, they have some interesting doodads and things. They don't really bring in any real unusual or rare fish that, like, any other store wouldn't already be bringing in, which is a bit of a bummer, and I'm hoping that with the expansion, maybe that changes a little bit. Maybe we get some more oddball, kind of like bigger importing going on from Aquarium Co-op. Like their flagship store has not been like really run by Corey. I mean, it's had an on-site manager that's someone other than him for 8 years now, I guess, 9 or 7 years now, 7 years. So, it's kind of interesting how different that is versus the online world, which is where he really is focused. Personally, he's on the online side of things, is where he's active. From what I gather, but I do kind of wish he was back with customers and dealing with seeing the other products in the market and being able to kind of talk to people on that daily aquarium shop level, that I think is a nice perspective for anybody to have. It was something I definitely benefited from, and now, I miss having it. I miss that daily aquarium shop perspective. Here we've got my blue Malawa tank that we're trying to the colony we're trying to get going again, right? And as we may or may not recall, we've got the little Everglade uh, Elastomas in here. Got the smallest one putting on some weight finally. Was worried about for a little while. And then they're kind of just hanging out, doing their thing, hiding. And there's one that's kind of been the dominant one. I think it's this. Yeah, it's this one. Next to that blue shrimp. Isn't that a nice image there? I think they look nice. So I want to get them a better tank than this little setup. And over at Moonlight Aquatics, Kang has brand new, which I'm excited about. He built a table, and he's got a whole bunch of low iron rimless tanks that he is hoping to set up little nano aquascapes in. And I've got these tanks too. So I said, hey, I'm willing to come on over and create something with you. Let's go take a look at the pond real quick, then we'll chat in the comments like good old time's sake. Nice and cold here in Seattle today. Not like too cold in the sense of like freezing, but it's getting there. It's probably down to about 36 Fahrenheit, I would say. And here is my thrashed outdoor tub spot. The raccoons managed to crack the bottom of that 40 breeder out here. This is just a foldable leaf thing for my wife. And then we've got the alkaline and the acidic buckets. We've got the large 80-gallon. We've got another 20, or no, that's 12 and a half, never mind. Wine quarter barrel or whatever they call it. And if we can see out here, I mean, it shouldn't be dark yet. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at all these isopods, guys. Look at them all. So I was thinking, a lot of people are saying they want isopods, and I noticed that they're going on, like they're selling them on websites for $3 to $5 a piece. So I was thinking maybe I could sell them for like $1 a piece or something, make it easy so that you'd get like 20 or 30 to start a colony, and then the shipping, so it'd come out to like $40 to have your own starter of really healthy wild caught. They can withstand the cold and the heat in this environment. But what's crazy is, so I want to show you guys how many I get here when I go down with the turkey baster, just trying to suck up some of these. And you kind of get, like, I got 2 here. We're gonna try again. We're just gonna go down the wall and see what we get sucking them out of there. And you get another like 3 or 4 in the big tank. Watch how nuts this is. I'm guessing I already did this yesterday, so I won't be shocked if there aren't that many today. But I mean, holy smokes, look at that. So we have just quite the explosion of them in my backyard. There are so many. It is absolutely wild to see how many just come off that line up top when they're in here. And they're just ready to go, eating and then at night they get together and they stay warm. But here I can put them back together in a big old group, and they, if you guys saw the video on them, they huddle for warmth at night, and they'll survive fine unless it freezes. I guess, yeah, we'll leave them some food in there, I guess. But then I can bring them in. I like to let all the planaria and any possible little bugs or pathogens they may have a chance to kind of express themselves or show. Because usually the other little guys will kind of push them out of the huddle, which is fascinating to me. They won't let them get in the cuddle puddle if they've got the main thing that they end up with is like a fluke where they get like a little another little creature very similar to, I think it's some other microcrustacean. It's like a little lice, gets on them. Now here we've been outside all day, this tub, and this is what I collected last night so that tonight I could feed, and also I could see like, okay, well there's a little snail, there's some snails and planaria, so it's like, okay, I don't want those in my tank. But they're all doing the cuddle puddle thing in the corners, and they're not dead. They're just like, let's just try to focus on them. They're all just doing their flexing. So the ones on the outside are less active. They're moving in slow-mo, and the ones in the center are flexing. We can disturb them too. They'll be fine. It's not going to get freezing tonight, most likely. But you can see how many are in here just from a few minutes of collecting last night. And the fish just love eating these. Here, I'll show you guys just a few. We'll feed like, I don't know, what is that? 40 of them probably. We'll feed like 40 of them to the fish again. Some fish, though, can't eat these guys because their mouths are too small. And the exoskeleton must be pretty crunchy. Welcome, Jess. Also, Sketty, what's going on? How are you? Mick, hello again. I know I said hello earlier, but yeah. Just watched my video on Isopods. Sorry for spelling sweet. Oh, you're from Sweden? Right on. Welcome. Oh, yeah, from Sweden. Welcome to America. That's not where you are. You're still on the internet, I'm aware. Alright, so we got a cichlid here. Should we try one? There we go. We're going to try one or two. Boom. I think. Boom goes the dynamite? What? Where? Apparently, this tank is real slow on the pickup. I did just turn on the light for them, which maybe that was a poor choice of judgment. I did just do that for these guys, but I guarantee you these guys are on it with a bonnet. Look at this. These guys are like ruthless. I mean, I can feed almost all of them, and they'll just get them immediately. The Danios try to get them too, and you'll see the Danios, they have some luck with the little ones, I guess, but nothing like these tiger barbs. Man, they can really get them. And then once they're down on the algae and stuff, they kind of make a getaway pretty quickly, so I try to actually recall some of them. Even though the fish will eat them when they find them, I don't need them to just be like disappearing into the tank and then being another element of, oh, I forget which tank is a fully nature tank kind of thing. So here, we'll see if any of these, oh yeah, they're going to come. The Liberty Mollies are going to come and eat these things. Eat them up. Let's see, we'll get a big juicy one right there for them. Let's see if they come out for that. They're so shy from me. Like, I have to get way back here. I'm like probably 8 feet back now, zoomed in to get this angle of them. But they're very shy, and they're also, look at this, The thing we don't do in our aquariums so often is let our fish hunt down low or up high where our fish are, where they evolve to hunt. And where, the stuff that they did evolve to hunt. We don't let them. We don't let them enjoy their fishydom, their fishyhood. All right, here comes some fishyhood. Let's see, what's gonna eat these first? The Siam ornamentalis, or the sahulensis, or the... Let's see, where are they all? Okay, they're all up in the bulb of the thing. But here we go. Here, we're just gonna put more in. I'm hoping that the apistos and the little gobies are getting them. I've noticed the apistos are not quite as shiny as they were the other day. Remember how red and bright they were? Yeah, I don't know why, but they're just not quite. Their luster, they've lost their luster, unfortunately. I don't know if their luster was because they were flustered, because they were romantically occupied with one another. Oh, here comes the other white-cheeked goby. So we're hoping to also get the white-cheeked gobies. I want to get more of them. I want to get more of gobies in general. I just love them. I think they work well in tanks that are mature. If I am getting rid of any of my mature tanks, and I have gobies in them or whatever, I might end up consolidating more, but I'll definitely save we're going to save the hardscape that has biofilm and stuff on it, because the gobies they need to thrive. So we'll make sure that happens. Also, look at this. Their color is actually coming back a little bit. Even the glass isn't the cleanest right now. Their color is coming back just because they're eating these little scuds that make them so happy. And I had a poll, and these are also single cell organisms, paramecium. So sometimes, I mean, even though they're so tiny that you'd think, oh, those fish aren't going to bug or bother with those, they will. They will do that, and then they will kind of, sensory-wise, they'll realize, okay, this environment is good for babies. I can have my babies now because they'll have food. There's not just adult-sized food, there's baby-sized food. So what used to be barely visible to them and not the biggest interest becomes more of an interest evolutionarily when they start gearing up for spawning, definitely. But with all of these things, with all of these pseudomagills and rainbow fish, one of my troubles is I keep other fish that hang out benthically or down low, down at the bottom, together with them. Here, let's get one of these little Indonesian dragons to come out. Come here, you little guy. Oh, the Chinese dragons are much meaner than the Indonesians. These are the Indonesians. And there's another Indonesian right here. Come on. Come on, guys. There we go. The Chinese one's the bigger one in the back there with the that I'm putting sand on. And these guys, the Indonesian ones, these guys will disappear into the sand in a split second, like I was saying. You put them in here and they're zoom, gone. But yeah. What was I saying about... Who knows? I was rambling. You guys are just like Alex. You're always rambling. What are you rambling about now? We weren't listening. We're here for the kitty. So I put all the gross water from these nice tanks. I know what I was saying. I put all the gross water from the nice tanks together in a mix, in a nasty turkey baster full, so that up above, they'll have all the algae and the starts of the fixings for a detritus heaven of food. Yum. Look at all that nasty crud. Okay, so I catch more of these guys. Like I was saying, the problem has been with live feeding that there's some live feeders that I've kind of over time tended to neglect and leave out. And so I'll give them the live food like this. And what's nice at night, they'll come to the bottom and they'll spot the scuds that anybody else missed on their way to the bottom or whatever. And I'll go through and clean all of this multiple times a week, usually twice a week or 3 times a week, and then just re-top off the water of these tanks with this, as you guys have seen. But those gobies, these gobies here, they're only going to eat live food that's moving. Whereas the pseudomagills and things, they'll eat non-live food, but it has to be at the very top, and then it has to be mid-water. And that may sound confusing, but what I'm saying is, like, it needs to start at the top and be drifting downward for them to eat it. They'll eat stuff that's not actively jerking and alive, but it needs to be actively moving like living food. And so I'll use like spirulina or algae wafers to feed some of my fish, and especially like catfish and stuff a lot of times. And then when I don't have anything like that to feed those bottom dwellers, or like like the elastomas, for instance, or gobies, I'm really stoked to have something new that will treat both sections equally, which is Corey's New Magic Food from Aquarium Co-op. I was already laughing at this, you guys, because it has Corey's Aquarium Co-op seal, and it's the Aquarium Co-op product, and so, obviously it has his seal if it's a product that's out in the world, I would assume. I mean, if it doesn't, there's some problems going on in the company. Hey, I just noticed there's a fish that I did not know was alive. We have one of the lapis, the Emperor lapis tetras still alive. I don't know if the phone will focus. Yeah, right there. Did not know there were any of those alive in this tank. So right now, I would tear this tank all down, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to slowly tear it down and allow it to adjust to the bacteria load and to the nitrite ammonia, like being able to be processed at the rate whatever it was. So this is the new food that I was talking about, and taste-wise, everybody seems to really dig it for the most part. So let me show you guys. Some of it kind of falls down in clumps. If you have any humidity like in your fish room, it'll clump up a little bit, but it will float for a good 20 or 30 minutes if nothing's disturbing it. If fish are coming up and hitting it, which you'll see in a sec when I do in the other tank, but say they came up to do this, what you'll see is little pieces start to come down and it starts kind of slowly raining. And that's what I was talking about. That is what the pseudomagills will eat. But what's even better is if you actually have flow, like maybe this should work. If you actually have some flow, if this thing wasn't blocked, you can push that around some and it will basically stay suspended in the water, and it'll go up, down, all around. Up, down, all around. What? You sound like you're being tortured, honey. So that's pretty handy, I must say, and it's very fine. I'm going to do a review on it because I do think that everybody needs like kind of a go-to selection of like 10 5 to 10 foods that, they feel confident to feed to the fish of various sizes, or, whatever they have in their community tank, so that everybody gets equal play and equal food. So here, I'm not going to stir it up at all. I'm just going to show you what the fish do. So the fish are just feeding, and they're doing their thing. And the thing is that uh, the brand newborn baby fish and the smallest rasbora species in the world, the little micro rasbora. Where is he? The 4 dot or polka dot rasbora. He's hiding back in here. They all eat it. So will these. I mean, all the way up to, see, these pencil fish are eating it over here. They're so weird the way they hang out like that, and they get in circles and stuff. They're like druids or some ancient order of the pencil fish. Uh, and some of them are very clearly the females with the bigger belly and the kind of brassy color, whereas the males have more color in the fin with the reddish burgundy and then the blue, all that, and a bag of potato chips they're looking like. But yeah, see, this stuff is still floating, and the stuff that we were kind of blowing around in that in the power head, I turned it off, and look at this, it's still floating mid-water. So that's kind of nice. I wish there were more fish in there again to show off, the fact that they like it. But obviously, they're eating all of it. There's not going to be a trace left. So they like it. Guppies are easy to please. Endlers are easy to please. I get that. But I still think it says a little something that they're eating it all. And same with the little rocket killies. And again, I know they're not rocket killies. I know they're clown killies. But clown killie is a terrible name. It makes me think of Gacy, and not the adorable little rocket that they are. So I'm not calling them that. All right. Now, I want to show you guys. Look at this. Just so you know, those lemon aquatic arts, the lemon amanos, look at them. And these snowball ones too. There's a snowball amano. Boy, my hand is so hot, and man, it is dirty. But yeah, they look really good. And let's last check on. Again, I was gonna say I want to go up to Moonlight, and he's gonna be featuring those pandas. I think for $30. He said. I think he said it's only gonna be 20 or $30 for the brand new gold panda loach. And the originals, I think, are going to be 12 to 15, which is also super bonkers, considering in Seattle we will usually pay $28.99 or $32.99 for each little panda loach when they're babies and super prone to health problems and just disappearing on you. Yeah, of course, that's when they are cute at that size, but that's also when they sell them for max profit, knowing you're gonna likely mess up the husbandry of them, unfortunately. Also, I just wanted to comment before I get back to our sitting and chatting for the last part of the live stream, and tell you guys that this combo has worked out so well together. We've got the Kythit or Fire Ring Danios in here, only about 7 of them. And then we've also got 15 Rasbora hets. Look at that purple and orange together. It looks like a sunset. And then we've got 5 Kalitawas, 3 females, 2 males, rainbow fish, but they're small rainbow fish. They're a smaller rainbow fish. There's the male. They're full grown now. And they're not fully colorful at the moment, midday. In the mornings they are. And then there's the female, full grown. And then there's younger ones too that are a bit smaller. But I just love how that's coming out, and with the pink plants as an accent. Really cool. Love that tank. And I got some wood, some driftwood and stuff like that, and that will be going in the tank for the near future. All right, guys, hold on. Let me set the cat down, set the tripod down. Then let me see if you guys have been asking questions, and I've been a big old jerk face because it's hot in there too. I'm all verklempt. From what I remember, females are shiny silver. Can't remember black on them. Mick says, Mick, what is Mick talking about? Honey gouramis are awesome. Yes, I love honey gouramis. If anyone knows honey gouramis, can females also develop the black line from the chin to their belly? You know, on the wild ones, they sure can. On the domestic ones, it's very unlikely, but I would say because the wild ones can, there's got to be a gene in them still that allows for that. That would be my guess, but I don't know for sure. All right, let's see here. I don't know Moose, but I hope you have a healthy. Okay, Asya, y'all trying aquarium co-op small fish feed or community pellet? I'm using the magic feed. Yeah, the magic feed is exactly what I was using there, exactly. And I think, you know, I like it so far. I'm gonna review a couple things about it. The one thing that kind of is interesting, and this isn't really, I mean, I might make a thumbnail that makes it look like I'm gonna throw shade on them. Uh, and Corey thinks I hate Aquarium Co-op or whatever, like that I'm unfair, but I really don't. And I shop there every single week, so he's just not in the shop. He doesn't know that I'm like one of their probably most avid customers or buy stuff there the most. But you know, I guess he would know if he could check the log or whatever. But anyways, the the food, I watch them feed it and you know develop trying different brands. So I do kind of laugh though when he says, you know, oh, we developed this formula from blah blah blah. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no way they developed the formula. I searched for the odd preservatives that are listed as that. You know, there's just stuff in there that's not like their fry food, and their fry food wasn't their brand either, but it was basically leftover Alaskan fisheries salmon roe and salmon meal, which is just like ground up leftover fish heads and skeleton, you know, the spine, the skeleton, the fins, that kind of stuff, gills. And that's fine. That all that ground up. I mean, there's collagen, there's you know protein, there's lots of omega threes and sixes. That's all good stuff for fish. The fry food though is I think 57% protein, and this stuff is definitely 10 or 15% lower than that. The other thing is it's 10% ash and 10% crude filler slash water or moisture, which that's not a big deal. It just means that it's somewhat moist still, so they didn't dry it out as much as the fry food. And so it's a way for them to kind of essentially cut the product and get 10% more out of it. Maybe it helps it pack or float or sink differently. That could be. But then the ash, the wood ash, that's something else. You know, that is a filler just to kind of expand in the fish's stomach and make it feel like it ate more than it did. And with pieces that small, I'm like, wow, it's kind of surprising that you can fit. It's either 10 or 20. Let's go take a look. I think it might be 20% total filler. But that all that being said, some fish foods are like wheat and soy, and the filler is like 40 or 50% of some really crappy flakes. And the fact that it's there and hangs like that is really cool. The thing that I'm curious about is how it breaks down and how it hangs out. Oh, guys, we have a surprise guest. Bob is here. Bob is here, guys. Bob's been so terrified ever since the aquarium crashed. Remember, he used to come up for finger pats, and now he's just terrified. But Bob is around and still chugging along in this aquarium, along with about 3 tetras and some of the autos, and then these equus pencil fish that are just kind of all over doing their thing, surviving. But I'm gonna move these guys. I think tonight we're moving all of the shrimp and the fish for now over into here. And even though this is kind of just a jungle tank for the moment, then we're gonna tear down this whole display and revamp that whole aquarium from scratch. But that aquarium and the green water one in the other room, they're going to be on the same shelf. So we'll have two of this size right here, aquascapes, to redo side by side for this winter. Later, we can redo this one. And then out here, that one I was showing you that I said I'm cleaning slowly, the mulm one with the, where I was using the turkey baster, and there was the Rasbora hets and the fire danias and the Kaliawa red tail rainbow fish, dwarf rainbow fish. That is coming out here, and I have a new piece of wood for it to make it long, and then I have a bunch of river rock that I'll either use or I'll clean up some of the moss in there and get a few more loaches and things. Now these guys, I want them to live, the amanos and everything, so I do want them to be okay. Also, I want these brand new fish that are generation 5 of this guy. I definitely want them to survive and be able to do their thing and reproduce when they get to that age. Especially if we can get it to one more generation squeezed out with that male that we were trying to make everybody look like. I mean, we're getting some pretty cool looking fish now with that blonde gene crossing with that metallic rainbow. There's like a dark kind, and then there's like the green kind. There's the green kind with the stripes scooting around and the yellow tail. And then there's the ones with the tail that looks like a little fire, like a match or a spade tail. So I'm having fun kind of watching them. Also, then there's the rocket killies, and I'm wondering if they will spawn in all of this tangle. Look at Bob. He's up. Man, he's so scared. That bums me out, you guys. He's like literally been traumatized by the power outage. I don't know if he just got scared that he didn't feel good or that everything changed all of a sudden. I've never had a fish. I've had cats or dogs traumatized by like I had a dog run out in the road. I had another cat where a firework, one of the mortars that goes up in the air, the artillery shell things, it went off right near us when I was holding the cat in my arms and we were up in a second story window, and it went off like outside the window and went boom, and the cat was not the same for like 6 months. And that was, 4th of July, and that cat was already like hated 4th of July. So I kind of understand those episodes, but this is kind of unexpected to have a fish that is traumatized. I'm gonna step outside just because I am burning for love. I mean, I'm burning hot. Ooh, I got packages. Wife. It's all for the wife. It's all for the wife. That's okay. She works hard. She works hard for her money. She works hard for her money. She works hard for her money. She takes my money. She takes my money. She works hard to take my money. So I better treat her right. Right on. Jessica Celisy. Welcome, and I'm glad you liked the video that you saw, and right on board. Var Ardu, Is that where are you? Spaghetti. Okay, let me go down here. I'm behind. I'm missing up. John Blaze, what's up? Merry Christmas. Swamp Beast 71. Holy crap, mate! You have a lot of plants in your tanks, like a jungle tank. I do. I do. Uh, okay. Mick says, Alex, can you give one example of fish, shrimp, or extras you would recommend or want to get from your 3 affiliates? Yeah. Um, Mick, that's a great idea. Can you give one example of fish, shrimp, or extras that you would recommend to get from your 3? So we've got Moonlight, we've got Dan's Fish, and Aquatic Arts. Dan's Fish, I would get a pair or 5 or 6 if you really have the money. Fish that you want to breed that are hard to find. Maybe live bearers or a cichlid, something that's pretty tried and true and has been bred quite a few times. I would recommend that because then you're pretty sure to make your money back or to actually make enough that you can share them afterwards and feel good about the fact that you did that. But his is the place to go when you know you want a certain line or a certain collection point or Ultima Angels that are 100% full Ultima Angels or a collection point that is 100% verified and he bought it from, Aquarium Glosser, or he bought it from the 2 guys who have ever brought it back that live in the US or Mexico or wherever. He does that all the time. He's always wheeling and dealing with people. So Dan's Fish, all you have to do is enter the code Alex. But I would say pick out breeding stock and or really rare stuff there. His prices are high, but when you get a fish from him, I've never quarantined them and I've never had a problem with any of his fish. They've lived longer, and a lot of them have actually lived through like crashes that other fish will not. So like the tank may crash even with like this temperature stuff where everything crashed, yet certain things like a giant betta, for instance, survived probably because it had a good immune system, good nutrition, everything for at least 2 or 3 months with Dan there. Now from Moonlight Aquatics, their shrimp are like $3.99 for Neocaradinas as a crazy deal, like $4.99 to $6.99 for blue bolt. For super blue bolts, it's like $1 or $2 more. Those are crazy deals in the U.S. They're good quality shrimp. They're the same type of shrimp that you get imported from anywhere, to be frank. If you wanted Neocaridina, though, like an Onyx or those awesome Sun-Kissed calicos that I'm still trying to get my hands on, Aquatic Arts raises them in-house, and they have some of the best kind of middle-of-the-road, not the very highest grade shrimp, but healthy, good-looking. I would breed them in lines. I would still cull things, as I always would, but I would trust them. Same with like all their nearite snails. Same with their crabs. They've got really cool crabs, and they've got land-based isopods right now. I'm trying to convince them to get the rubber duckies, and they've got lilac, I think, or violet ones, and they've got an Oreo one, an Oreo Crunch one. They've got the zebra one. So they're getting all these different color isopods, which is cool, for paludariums, and they've springtails and daphnia and stuff like that. So they're a good place for all that stuff. Also, they are carrying wood. They're carrying medications. They carry food like Shrimp Envy's Shrimp Envy food, and they also have a lot of crayfish and crabs that no one else in the world, well, I shouldn't say world, because whoever is exporting them has them, obviously, in India or whatnot. But they have a lot of things that nobody else in the U.S. or in Europe have, because of relationships they've made with specific people outside of just the wholesale and the transshippers. Now, with Moonlight Aquatics, I know that a lot of his stuff is farm raised in China, Indonesia, Taiwan, and Hong Kong but mainland China, which is interesting because almost no one gets fish from mainland China in the US. It's all out of Hong Kong or Singapore. Sometimes like koi and stuff come via way through Malaysia. But like Taipei kind of thing. I don't know. It's hard to say though. But there are entirely different like apisto lines. There are entirely different flower horn patterns. There are, for instance, freshwater moray eels that are orange and green and striped and spotted. I mean, just beautiful and odd fish. All these loaches, the golden panda loaches at moonlightaquatics.com, use the code secret fishery 10. Same with aquatic arts. It's fishery 15. So fishery 15. All that info is always in the description of my videos. I also have codes for shrimp envy. I think Garden of Eater shrimp is secret 10. And or fishery 10. It's always like fishery or secret 10. It won't be secret anymore, but that, you know, if you're ever on a site and you're like, does Alex have an opinion on this? Has he done anything with them? You can always try that. Johnny Best, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. I do appreciate it. Swamp Beast, I'm here. I'm also new to YouTube, just joined not long ago. Still trying to figure it all out. Well, you know, welcome aboard. I'm glad you're here. That's very cool. We love having folks join the community and contribute their wisdom, contribute their questions. All of us grow when any of us grow, and that is really the truth. You know, because the best way to cement something in your head is to teach it to somebody else, or to reiterate the details in your head. Have to think about it again, and like really what is going on, how is it working, and to then process that, think about it, and then spit it back out. And all of that really helps us in the long run. But yeah, Asia says the aquatic arts vampire crabs just came in and they're super healthy. Green jade neocaridina. Yeah, their green jade shrimp are probably the best green jades I've seen in the country as far as consistency goes. They're blue and green jades. They're called that because they're semi-translucent blue dreams with green on them, like over them. And so it's kind of an interesting morph in that, like, if you shined a strong LED or your phone light through them, they glow like an emerald. And you can see a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, all kind of in there refracting around. They're not like opaque, and like a lot of the other greens are actually closer to a wild brown, and they've got like a yellow line down the center or a brown line down the center. And those ones they weren't staying stable for years and years of the hobby, and finally somebody was able to get them to stabilize, and now Aquatic Arts has really refined that and culled that, and they've held on to that strain. They also have the tangerine tigers that are really stable, the giant and the dwarf rabbit snails. They also have the Babalti greens and the Babalti tigers that are bred in-house. Really good prices. Also, just no one has them. And yeah, I totally understand, Radina Winsbury. It is so frustrating how expensive shipping is these days. Yeah, definitely frustrating. What was I gonna say else in here, guys? Having your cup of coffee, right on. Cichlids tropicals. I also just saw that what was I gonna say? I need to say congratulations, holy smokes, to Steenfaw Aquatics. He hit 100K. He was like, not even a month ago, we were like tied, and I tried for years to catch up with that guy, and I actually pulled ahead of him for a little while there. And then now he's jumped ahead like 30 or 20,000 subscribers in a few weeks or month in a couple months, maybe just a couple weeks. Maybe it's a couple days. I don't know how quick it happened. But big shout out to him. He's been working hard on the newsletters, and Chelsea is just a phenomenal, a happy person on the channel, and just a pleasure to chat with. I live in the same area as them. I want to be friends with them. I never have hung out with them just one on one or seen their fish room or anything since he moved and stuff. But anyways, I wanted to give them a shout out because I did see that they're up and hit 100,000. That's a big milestone. We're at almost 80,000 now. We've been stuck at the between 77,000 or 76,000 and 78,000 for 6 months now, which is kind of wild. It's just hanging there. We've lost subscribers. Maybe when the political season's over, people will chill out or something. People have left saying it's because of me never posting videos anymore, which is also kind of hilarious, but also heartbreaking because it means they're just not getting my alerts whatsoever, and that they also didn't go to the channel to check if I'd posted anything, and they'd see that other than this summer, I post at least once a week, if not like 4 times a week is my average over the years, is two 10 to 20 minute videos, 15-minute video, and 1 or 2 live streams each week is my average. Alex, do you think the Neocaridina shrimp will become as inbred and genetically weak as guppies eventually? Maybe, but they are invertebrates. And invertebrates they're built different. They've evolved for 300 to 400 million years, and they may be able to put up with it. I think that there's a long way to go with color morphs of those things right now. I think we're going to get into the territory in the next 5 to 20 years where the hobby just goes nuts, and anybody at home can like select color genetically and like GMO, if not even just they understand the genetics very well, and the internet connects everybody. So now when one person has a pink shrimp, that's like bright fuchsia or pink, maybe the only other one in the country, people can like shout it out and get together, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Jeff, what's up? Good to see you. You should probably visit his fish room before he moves. Yeah, Johnny Best says Steamfort hardly put out contents, but he hit 100K. How come? Well, he used to put out more content, and then the content he has put out lately, I must say, he has an exclusive deal with a Wet Spot, where they've been giving him the 10% off code, which, I mean, that's cool. I I begged for years for that. So I'm a little sad that I didn't ever, make a deal like with their marketing department. Even the owner of the company was like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds all good. Just talk to our marketing department." And they said, "No, we're just gonna try it with Steenfot." And he has the same viewers you do anyways, so don't worry about it. And I just thought, wow, lady, you don't know anything about Steenfot and I's channel then in that case, because like we have some viewers that are the same, just like Aquarium Co-op or MD or George Farmer. But those channels, everybody has them on their list or whatnot. They're on everyone's list. King of DIY, those kind of things. They're on a lot of lists. But I think also him having, yeah, it's the singing that's keeping people away and having people leave my channel. No, I think also having Chelsea there, honestly. She is very intelligent, she's friendly, she's upbeat. They're pretty consistent with their live streams and stuff. And also he's friends with Corey. He gets cool gear to play with, and knows the ins and outs. Corey has definitely rubbed off on some of the tactics and things, like do you use hashtags? How do you title videos? What kind of thumbnail do you use? And what do you play into? What do you not? And he doesn't do a lot of like clickbaity stuff either. So, I mean, he's kind of got a way about him that's also very business focused sometimes, and other times he's totally playful. Kitty is meowing, 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 meowing. Um, let's see here. I was very happy to see you get the creator shout out from John on the KG Tropicals live stream last Thursday. Oh, good. Dang. I didn't know that, but that is nice to hear. I do like that. I don't care if anybody's subscribed at the end of the day, as long as I get the nerd credit, right, guys? Um, let's see here. A treatment raised in good salt and okay. You're giving people, you're dropping knowledge. Blue flower, I am doing okay. I'm doing pretty well. I am getting a little like as we're coming to hour 25. I'm running out of batteries, and I was gonna go uh up to Chang's store and work on the nanoscapes that just came in because he's got glass containers, wood and rocks and sand, but no, uh, well, I mean, we will. I'll get plants from my tanks and I'll get that kind of stuff. But we're going to be nanoscaping the a couple little nanoscapes. I think there's like a 2 gallon, a 3 gallon, a 10 gallon, a 6 gallon. There's a bunch of these ones under 10 gallons. You are the weirdest kitty ever. The way you want to be held, you purr, you go, brrr, and then you go, meow, meow, and you try to wiggle away, and you get up around my neck, and you're purring loud. And they say, cats can purr from pain or fear too, but I'm pretty sure you're not scared, kitty cat. I'm pretty sure you're just asserting that you own your human, that I will do anything you want. Uh, Whoa! Did you guys see that? He jumped right past the camera. Or she did. Heavyweight champ. Well, that's sweet of you to say. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here soon. I am going to show you guys. No, I won't. Actually, I won't. I will post maybe a picture on Discord in the not safe for work section of my foot, why I can't stand much longer right now, and why I got to put my leg up, and why if you guys have seen me and I look like, hey guys, how's it going on some videos, and I didn't stream like yesterday, I just couldn't stream. It's because of the autoimmune stuff and all my health stuff, but it's also there's that infection in my foot that's pretty bad, and the cut is now ulcerated, and so the whole back of the heel now has a hole in it, like the size, almost the size of a silver dollar, that's as deep as the first, almost the like, not quite that. It's about as deep as the fingernail is, so maybe half an inch deep. Johnny Best, no pictures. We all know. But anyways, yeah, it's interesting from a medical standpoint. I might ask, what is your favorite actor or actress? Oh, that's a good one. Thanks, Sketty. Same to everybody here that's struggling. What was your autoimmune issue again? Oh, you're a med student. Imad, Mamaluki, thanks for asking. Yeah, they've basically called it uh, lupus, but since you're a med student and probably a nerd like me a little bit, it is my immunoglobulin M is in like the 20,000 to 30,000 range. Immunoglobulin E has been as high as 50,000. My macrophages are very, very high a lot of times, my white cell count, and then they'll just crash. And then same with like the inflammation markers and inflammatory things. It acts as like an allergic reaction to my own body, and then it also any other actual allergies are out of control because my body's so confused by the inflammation. So then they've got me on methotrexate, prednisone, and they're trying to get me on a biologic that can cover, but it's too much money in the US for the injection biologics. For the cutting edge ones. They're $6,000 to $2,000 every 2 weeks or every month, or it depends on what they are. But the one that I would need, which is a four uh, developed derivative of Dupixent, is that they're working on. That would be something like $4,000, even with insurance. It'd be like, I don't know, 12,000 really, but it makes it so it's not feasible. So basically they've got me on methotrexate and prednisone and other things like citracal and all these other I do tend to now take things like chaga, reishi mushroom, and lion's mane, turkey tail, stuff like that, just in case it's helpful. Who knows? Maybe it's all voodoo hoodoo. And no, I am not ANA positive, which is weird, but my mother was not in her tests, which is kind of interesting. And then all of a sudden, at 60 years old, they tested her again, saying, well, the old tests weren't quite as good as our new tests, and we have a bigger data set to compare against or whatever. And now it's like clear. They've done it several times because they were kind of shocked. But she has rheumatoid arthritis. That's what they've diagnosed as. Mine, they've said lupus or lupus expressing autoimmune. Essentially with extreme generalized all over dermatitis issues. But it's anyways, it's wild. How much time did it take to get a lupus diagnosis? My ANA in blood work has positive, and I have many lupus symptoms. It took me I've had a rheumatoid arthritis diagnosis. I have had a psoriatic arthritis diagnosis, and I've had the lupus one now. And then if I go to UW, University of Washington, they actually say it's probably not the classic lupus. It's probably in that cluster. And basically, I like this is the best it's looked in a long time because the methotrexate and the antibiotics and being hydrated, sleeping, all that stuff. But this scaling, it gets very silver and it just gets layer after layer after layer. And I get it, even just when I use my hand to dig around in the aquarium too much, to pick up buckets of water, it forms calluses that blister over. And then like I get shingles. I've had probably 3 times a year or more sometimes I'll get shingles outbreaks, which is also odd. So it's very odd. Sometimes I have a very strong immune system. Other times it's extremely weak after big flares. But they've looked into quite a few different things. Um, um, Swamp Beast. Yeah, that's rough. I wanted to do a mental health focused um video like once a month type thing for PTSD, for attachment anxiety, detachment anxiety, whatever, different things that people have that the aquarium has helped them with. So like a month mental health awareness kind of uh, show or running thing. And they literally they would tell like 6 people when I did it. If you search for it, I bet you'll only find 1 or 2 episodes out of the 30 that I tried over the last 8 years of YouTube. But they really don't want you, like, they don't monetize it, which means it doesn't get promoted. And to be fair, a lot of people don't want to watch a video that says like fish keeping and mental illness, open forum chat or something like that, especially after the fact. So I get it, but they also take it down, demonetize it, say it's inappropriate because of you can't give diagnoses, which that's fine, but a lot of things they'll say, oh, you're saying you should get checked out for X, Y, or Z. Well, that's giving medical advice, and so then they'll pull the thing down and they'll actually get your channel in trouble. So yeah, it's very tricky and frustrating that side of things. But anyways, Asya, I totally understand. Hang in there. It's been a rough year for a lot of people, a lot of us. Uh, and yeah. Well, thank you, Imad Mamaluki. Are you Egyptian, buddy? Um, or Ethiopian by chance? Sudanese? Anyways, no, Ethiopian, I guess, would probably be my guess now. But in any case, I am having a hard time. Iranian. Oh, that was going to be literally the next one, but then I was like, no, I'm going to be wrong, and so I kept my mouth shut. Very cool. I'm always interested around here. Like Uber drivers and stuff tend to. We have a huge population of um, uh, Eritreans and Somalis and Ethiopians, and so for some reason I can tell the difference between the three like that. I did live with a Somali for 2 years, and I tattooed at university, and I tattooed a whole bunch of Eritreans that were all friends because of their like I tattooed one on the football team, and then like he brought like his 6 or 7 guy friends, and then they brought their girlfriends, and then they brought their like. So I just had this like contingent of all the Eritrean kids on campus that wanted their tattoos. But anyways, I'm always fascinated by cultures and educated folks of different cultures of this culture, mixes of cultures. Always think it's cool. Uh, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful night. And Shirazi, uh, Shiraz. That someday I'll get to Shiraz. Someday I'll see the city or the north of Iran. That's somewhere I'd love to see. I'd love to see that, or for that matter, the north of Afghanistan. Well, northwest-ish, blue mosque stuff like that. I know there's a million blue mosques, but really cool geometric architecture and history. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I do want to also hopefully put in your mind that we might be having some episodes where I have people like Kitty. What is going on? Uh, People like Ivan Mikolji or Anthony Matrrial, or people like that on. And try to kind of have other experts chatting it out on live streams. We need to do more of that again. It's been a little while. Yes, collabs, exactly. I would love to do more collabs. Also, um, what's his name who does the food stuff? Oh, I'm totally blanking, but he does. I mean, he could be on Food Network. He's so good, and I think he's got like 3 million subscribers. But he has a food show, and he kind of just quit YouTube a while, like not long ago, and now he's just doing what's fun. And he is he had me run him through how to set up a nature ecosystem and how to do a rice fish or tilapia. He wanted to do a little size and a big size, talk about how to grow and do aquaculturing, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Adam Ragosia. And Yeah, so I talked with him for hours and hours, months and months ago before I was in the hospital and all that. And then he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna wait and we're gonna let these projects get more and more developed or whatever." Him and a friend who lived in LA. And I haven't heard yet, but hopefully when that comes out, that will be a kind of a neat collab if it does come out. I mean, he just kind of interviewed me for it for the most part, but I would definitely be flattered, honored, and excited to see that. So, anyways, you guys, we want to. Hey, you, no, you just sat on my Dr. Pepper, literally butt on rim. Gross. Now I have to pour out the Dr. Pepper. You also have some sort of booger in your eye. Cat, you're just like a walking problem. I love you so much, but what a walking problem, child. All right, you guys, and thanks, Mick. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks, Coro. Always pushing the links in the Discord if you want to join. We're getting pretty crazy over there. There's a few hundred of us in there. And also, yeah, get your merch before Christmas if you want it. I have it set at the default lowest profit level so that it's like if the mug costs, like they tell me, we're going to charge you $10. And then they tell you to price it whatever you want, knowing that how much do you want to charge for it. And most people, it'll give you a recommended price of $19.99 or whatever. Well, I've done it at the 10% profit range to help you guys out because I know the economy has just been killing all of us, and you guys included, are all around the world. And also, all the Teespring merch links for this channel, this store, I donate then every month, or sometimes I have to wait 2 months, sometimes even three, because usually I make about $20 to 50, like $15 to $40 profit. It really ranges, but I usually make, 3 to 7 bucks per item if I sell like a hoodie versus a shirt or a hat or something. But then that goes to one of the nonprofits, and usually I'll wait till I have like $100 saved up enough to give to one of them. And if I ever give to Green Earth Alliance, which was created by Ivan Mikolji myself, I make that very clear even beforehand. I say, hey, this month, you guys, for sure, we're going to give to my charity. So I wanted to let you know in full transparency. But I'm thinking that the stuff we're doing now is going to go to Shoal or to the Dutch nonprofit that is trying to. And I'm supposed to have the gal who is the head of, she's on the board of directors, but she's I think they call her like a head trustee out of the Netherlands. Uh, and they have a little bit different structure than we do in some of our nonprofit NGO stuff. But she is working on a Lake Poso in Sulawesi, trying to get rid of tilapia and other cichlids as well. Flower horns and things are showing up, and they're just eating literally all the beautiful tiny little shrimp that are so delicate and cool. They're eating so many things so quickly. They really need to be stopped, and it's already been like they figure between 8 and 10 years. So hopefully they can get a handle on that before it's all too late and we lose the 68 species of freshwater beautiful shrimp that they have. So hopefully we also get specimens to breed because not long they'll all be gone. All right, you guys, we've been up almost 2 hours. I know Dan is streaming. If you guys want to get any fish from Dan or check out Moonlight Aquatics or whatever, like I said, I've pushed all those links and things, but you know where to find them. And I'm going to go lay down. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for the super chat, for the help from the mods, for the great questions, for hanging out, and, just for being you guys. Always love seeing you. It's a high point of my day, my week, my life, my life, my life, my life. And I will see you guys later. Be careful with the skin. That sounds cryptic. Careful with the skin, young blood. Gonna break you down. All right. Well, I got Hawaiian sweet rolls. They're super overpriced, but man, they're freaking delicious. And they have really weird ads. But I'm gonna eat one of these Hawaiian sweet rolls. It has just about as much sugar as my Dr. Pepper, ironically. Um, and then I'm gonna start working on the Aquarium Co-op review video, I think, of their food, comparing how it works, its nutritional value, all that kind of stuff. You guys know how I do videos. I'm not gonna just be like, I bought Aquarium Co-op stuff. I like it. They're my favorite. Go Aquarium Co-op. Yeah. No, I'll pick it all apart. All right, you guys, and Mick, appreciate all your extra help. Have a wonderful night, everyone, and take care.